How can you manifest exactly what you want when you need it? That's what today's video is going to be about. I'm going to be sharing more about how I manifested what I wanted in my life and how you can too. It gets to be this simple, and it doesn't get to be this mysterious follow the path, follow a specific way to get what you want. So before we get started, I want to ask you a question. Right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how at peace do you feel? 1 with not feeling at all. 10 feeling zen, like a Buddha, like your God. Let's be honest, we are not God. So even me, I definitely do not feel 10. I feel right now, let's say 7 or 8. That's where I'm at. So right now, when you're watching this video, where at peace do you feel on the scale of 1 to 10? Be honest, and I'd love to know below where exactly you're at. So if we want to manifest what we truly desire, we need to get honest with ourselves. Where are you now? Because most of the times we are frustrated, we're unhappy, we really want what we want right now. We're like impatient, aren't we? Let's be honest. So the thing for you to realize here is that if you're any of these things, it doesn't make you wrong. It doesn't make you wrong. Listen to this. You are not wrong for feeling impatient, for really wanting things to happen right. But the reality is that we need to step back a little bit. We need to understand, okay, you're stressed, you're impatient. Okay, that's how you feel. It's natural to feel this way. But how is that going to help us to really get to really receive what we desire? Why do you want this thing? You say you may want more money, you want a partner, a love relationship, you want to get this business off the ground, but do you want to really receive it from a place of impatience, stress, and chaos? Because what will happen is, if you're feeling like this right now, you will only be manifesting more stress and chaos, even in the new business, even with the love relationship, even if you have like health issues and you want to feel better, those issues will still carry on. You will still have them no matter where you are. So you need to realize that you need to take 100% responsibility for your state of being right now. Because yes, you feel this. It's okay to be in it. It's okay to feel it. But you can also choose to let it go, especially if it's not serving you right now. You can be honest and you can choose to let it go. Now, this is the second question. Do you feel safe enough to let this go right now? That's the question. This is not, do you want to let this go? This is another question. Of course, we want to let everything go, anything that is not serving us. But right now, do you feel safe to let this go? Because there's a reason that you're holding on to this. And that's okay. We're human beings. We hold on to everything. And we take on so much. The pressure, the stress, it gets stored in us. It gets stored in our emotional system, in our nervous system, in our energy, in our head. There's so much that is there. But until you actually realize, the very thing that you're holding on to, it's serving you in a way. It's keeping you where you are. So I want you to be very honest about this process, because if you're not honest, you're always going to be repeating the same thing over and over. We may think, we want to manifest the dream car, and then, we try all the tools and everything, but the thing that we're not actually looking into is the thing that we're avoiding, that actually our state of being is the total opposite of what we're doing in our head. So you may think you want something, you're trying on all the exercises, being positive, but inside you're like chaos, you're stressed out, and you're like this. And we're bringing you back to this. We're bringing you back to the truth. We are human beings. We are not God. So how can we manifest what we truly want if we're not dealing with what is inside of ourselves? And this is the real work that needs to be looked at, because this is where we are. So your state of being, if you are stressed, okay, how do you feel in terms of letting it go? Are you ready? Do you feel safe to let it go? Only when you are at that state can anything come in. Can it get to feel relaxed? Because this is what happens. When you get to feel relaxed, it's because you're safe to have let that stress, if there's trauma, if there's unprocessed grief, if there's something that's going on in your head, it will get to be a natural occurrence, because the body will help you. The body is so wise, it's waiting for you to give it the environment so that you can fully get the relief that it needs. And so this is the next step. Now that you feel that it's time, you feel safe to let it go, now you can get to play, you can get to have fun. So what is it that you desire here? Now that your body is okay, it's relaxed, and you no longer have this constant pressure, this pushing, this hustling. Now everything's on board, you feel balanced. This is the space where you can receive anything that you want. Miracles can occur, but only when you choose to let it go from a safe space where your body sees a green light and everything rebalances and your mind is open. There is nothing like getting in your way, and you're not making yourself wrong. You are not blocked. There's nothing getting in your way. Now you can experience what it truly is like to be relaxed, to enjoy. So what is it now that you want? I'll give you a quick example. That's something that's happened to me many times. So for me, when I'm in this state, I can say something that just comes into thin air, basically. So there was one time that I wanted to meet Will Smith. Yes, this actually did happen. So I wanted to meet Will Smith just for fun. I was like, relax. I wasn't feeling stressed. I had let go. I was just open. Be open like a child. Be curious. Be playful. So I wanted to meet Will Smith. I somehow entered a competition that I forgot about. This was like only one day before. And I won a private screening to Focus. This goes back years ago. And there was Will Smith, there was Margot, that blonde lady actress there, and there was the director. And in this private screening, it was, I think, only like 50 people could be there or something, and then you would meet Will Smith in person and get his autograph. And then the director, Will Smith, Margot, basically all the main actors would be there. And so I ended up winning, and I took along a friend, and we walked the red carpet. This was a private screening in London, and I met him, and he was really, really nice. He wasn't like, famous people, you think they are a certain way, but he was actually very down to earth. Of course, he was funny, and he was very sensitive. So I met him, and it happened. And I didn't make it a big deal. That's the thing. When you choose something, make it playful, like you are looking through the eyes of a child and you're having fun. And then there was so there was another example in business. So that was a playful one. And in business, when I first started my business, when I actually registered my business on the actual platform on the government website, and I just made this thing up. It was like, what would it it was like, I would like to make 1,500, or wouldn't it be fun if I made 1,500, from clients in like a week or something. And then I just let it go. And then I had, I think, 3 clients in 5 days, and I had received £2,000 at the time because I lived in London, from those clients. And I didn't make it a big thing. And because I was receptive, because I was open and playful, and I just followed my intuition, which led me to the intuitive actions that I needed to take. And it happened pretty quickly. So these 2 examples are you being in that state of being and allowing what gets to happen. And it can be so quickly, but it can also take its own time. And I want you to know that manifestation is happening 24/7. It's not something that you play with one time and then it happens. I was just giving you an example when it gets to be playful, when your body is relaxed. We're constantly manifesting our reality 24/7 from the state of our being. And the state of our being can be stress, it can be chaos, it can be anger, it can be rage, but then it gets to be also light hearted fun, joy, pleasure, happiness, peace. So all of it is here, all of it is possible, and you are 100% responsible for receiving and closing it off. So this is completely up to you. So tell me, will you do this experiment? Will you take 100% responsibility of your life, and will you choose to get 100% honest with where you are so that you can open up, so that you can create life and have the business that you truly desire? Now that is the challenge, and let me know how it goes in the comments below. I always love to hear from you. Have a great day.